Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Back with another movie review, and it's cool whenever you have a movie review with a story behind it, like a movie you want to see that have a story behind it. Um, it seemed like about a year or two ago, I found out that because Steve Carell was doing like other stuff besides comedy and stuff, more like dramatic stuff, and I found that he did a movie called Battle of Sexes, which I didn't know about. And that revolves around the historic tennis match between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. Steve Carell played Bobby Riggs, right? And my story behind it was, I'm not really the biggest sports guy in the world, uh, but this was the very first sports event I ever talked about as a real little kid. First sports event I ever talked about. And basically, it was, let me get up to it. The only real athletes I really knew at the time, I said Mean Joe Green, but I don't think that was till later on in like the later 70s. This happened around 73, so I was either in kindergarten or first grade, right? And the only real athletes I knew about at the time was Andre the Giant from $6 Million Man, playing Sasquatch. I knew about that. I knew he was a pro wrestler, but I didn't start watching pro wrestling till the summer of '77 because I didn't know it was on, and it was on in the afternoons, and when it was off until Vince McMahon had the syndicated show like in fourth or fifth grade. In like 79 to 80, he had a big syndicated show with a bigger budget that was on all the time. I knew about Billie Jean King because they always talked about in the news and how great she was and stuff. And I wanted to see the movie, and I heard about it 2 years ago, and I wanted to see it. I keep forgetting about it, and it was weird because also on the Roku channel they said they were going to have it on there, so I wanted to see that, right? Then I was surprised. I thought it came out in 2020. I was surprised it came out in 2017. I was like, why did it take me 3 years to find out about this movie? And I didn't know about it. But I mean, the history was that there was the first sports event I ever talked about, so I was definitely. I thought the idea was interesting because it was like Bobby Riggs was like saying that. I get it. Bobby Riggs was saying that women are not as good as men and stuff like that. And Billie Jean King was pretty much like, she didn't hate men. She was like, she said women deserve to be treated equally along with guys, along with men. And that was like a thing, men versus women, the match. Anyways, what leads up to it, the movie starts out as like she was having a discussion with this one guy in the tennis league, and he blackballed her from the one tennis league, so she decided to form her own because women weren't getting the same amount of money as men. Like a guy would get like, if he won a tennis tournament, he'd get 10,000. A woman would win 1,500 or something like that. He said, I think women should get paid as much as men, and said, I'm going to start my own league. And then, it starts off like that. And then you see this Bobby Riggs and stuff like that. And you see his family life, because I guess he was back a while back. I don't know when. I mean, I saw the Johnny Carson interview. He said, like, in the 60s or something like that, he was a Grand Slam winner, which meant he won all the tournaments in like 1 year or something like that, and then he kind of faded into obscurity, but I guess he became addicted to gambling. And he would still play tennis, but for money. He was like a hustler, and he would like, sometimes he'd dress up goofy or have like walking dogs would try in tennis, and he won like a Rolls Royce and all this other stuff. His wife was all mad at him. She sent him to Wrestling Anonymous, Gambling Anonymous, and he said, the problem is, and this thing is not that you're addicted to gambling, you're not gambling correctly. You're losing money. If you're gambling the right way and win money, you'll be okay. And it talks about that. I mean, because I didn't know about that part, because I always thought Bobby Riggs was kind of a jerk. The way he promoted them, saying like women need to stay in the kitchen and make babies and stuff like that. I always thought he was a jerk as a little kid, And then in this movie, he turned out he was just a regular guy. He was just selling the match because he's a hustler. He was a hustler. He was, and but the match is at the end of the movie. It talks about his life and stuff and gambling, and it talks about her she was married, right? But she had she had a falling in love with her female hairdresser, and they had like a thing, and it was a PG-13 rated movie. But I mean, at one scene where her and it was a little raunchy for PG-13, right? And then it starts talking more about Bobby Riggs, and Bobby Riggs says, "I want to have a match with Billie Jean King. I would give you $100,000 if you win." And that became like a big thing on ABC. It was broadcasting from the Houston Dome on ABC on prime time on ABC back in 1973. So it was a long time ago. I didn't know it was that long. I thought it maybe 75, 70, but 73, long time ago. And I wanted, of course, I wasn't allowed to stay up. He's like, God, you got to go to bed. God damn you, because my mother's a horrible person. I wanted to see it. I thought it was interesting. I knew Billie Jean King was gonna. Well, I was hoping Billie Jean King would win. No spoilers. I thought Bobby Riggs came off as a jerk. But then you find that he was just in the movie. He was just a regular guy. I mean, but a hustler though. And he was selling the match, though. You know, he wanted people to see. I think they had like a thing where they were giving, exchanging presents. I guess he got a thing from Sugar Daddy. Like a big Sugar Daddy. The Sugar Daddy was like big toffee or caramel like lollipop type thing, square shape. He had this thing. He said, "They give you this because you're a sucker," or something like that. And then she said, "Well, this is my present to you," and she gave him a pig because she said you're a chauvinist pig, right? And they had the match, and it was cool because they showed like Howard Cosell, the original stuff, some original footage from the original match with Howard Cosell, and it was cool hearing Howard Cosell again. And I remember Howard Cosell actually left wrestling. I mean, he left announcing, sports announcing, because he used to be in Rod's World of Sports, all this stuff. He was like the big announcer back then. And he left announcing after the Larry Holmes Randall Tex Cobb fight, which I did see that. That was like a Friday night. And Randall Tex Cobb got the absolute crap beat out for 10 rounds. And they would not stop the fight. And Howard said, they need to stop the fight. It's not, I mean, you know, this is inhumane. It's inhuman, or something like that. And he was so mad that he didn't stop the fight that he ended his career. He said, I'm not announcing no more. I'm the heck with this. And then Randall Tex Cobb actually went on to become a big star. He played a lot of supporting roles in movies. He was like in that Richard Pryor movie, Critical Condition. He was in a bunch of other movies. I mean, he was on the Tonight Show like a few days after the fight. And then he became a star and being in a movie. So it worked out for him. And I know Howard Cosell wrote a book called I Never Played the Game. And I remember when I was in Fort Gordon, Georgia, I bought a couple of books on audio cassette. You know, because that was a new thing back then. I bought the Howard Cosell with like 2 tapes. I listened to it twice. I thought Dad would love to listen to it. He said, I hate Howard Cosell. I don't want to listen to that. He sent so many different messages. But I mean, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really good. I got a little choked up at the end. But I don't want to give away the ending. I mean, I thought Billie Jean King was always cool. You know, and then like Bobby Riggs just turned out to be a regular guy, but he was a hustler though. And then like she said you have to see your psychiatrist, and then he was playing blackjack with psychiatrist in the office. So and it was something else. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm finally glad I got to see it. And yeah, I give it a what was it, 8.5 out of 10. So hope you like the review, everybody. Till next time, please take care, my legion. But it's always cool to have like a movie that has a story to it. Because like I said, I'm surprised 73. It's like, dang. I was even in kindergarten, first grade. I said I knew Billie Jean King was going to win, but no spoilers. I'm not going to tell you who won. Probably the chicken chips made my hand orange right there. Hope you liked the video, everybody. Till next time, like I said, take care. Yiggy.